Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's Lynn from Feather Song Crochet. Welcome to Wednesday Whip Knockout. My shirt looks kind of rust colored on the camera, but it's really like a cardinal red. So I wasn't sure how that was going to look, but actually I like the rust color looking better. So has anybody joined us today? I saw one person that was waiting. So we'll wait for somebody to come on before we officially get started. Calling all Wednesday Whip Knockout people. Where are you? I'm starting a blanket. Oh, there's somebody. I'm going to put hello here. Hello. I'm starting on a blanket, so I need to be a little bit wider across. Let's see, who is that joining us today? Could it be Fran? Could it be Lizzie? Could it be, gosh, after a couple weeks, I've forgotten some names. Could it be Fran, Lizzie, Tammy, Bean, Sarah? Oh, they hopped on and off. Okay. Well, we don't start officially for 5 more minutes, so this is our opening time to say hello and to see what's going on. Maybe a little bit wider than this. So I'm going to be making a new blanket. I'm going to make it a bean stitch. I haven't done the bean stitch in a while for a blanket, so yeah, a little bit longer. This is for the high school my daughter works at, where she actually went to high school. We're going to they do a raffle every February and they give something away. So I'm going to make a blanket in the school colors so they can give away. And so, yeah. Let's see who is on here. I don't know who that is, but I'm just going to keep talking. This might be about wide enough for a blanket or a throw. I lost count of how many chains I had, so I'm just going to keep going. There we go. I think that's good. Okay, person. One person. Maybe it's my sister. Maybe not. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that'll do. Okay. I'm going to single crochet across before I start my bean stitch on the second row. So let's see, we'll have to start our timer here in a couple minutes. And set it for 20. As you know, we have 3 20-minute segments here on the Wednesday Whip Knockout. And the first 20 we work on our projects, and then we have a break. And then the second 20, same thing. The third 20-minute segment, we are reading Sense and Sensibility. And we're going to do chapters 12 and 13 today. So, oh, there's Bean. Hey there. Thanks for joining us. There's just a couple of us on right now. So I'm going to start the 20-minute timer here in 1 more minute. So what you up to, Bean? How's everything in Georgia? Excuse me. Anybody else working on a blanket today? I'm going to start this bean stitch blanket. And I got plenty of time. It doesn't have to be done until February, because that's when the fundraiser is, and they have a raffle for a blanket. So, 2:05. Okay, I'm going to start our first 20-minute segment. Okay, everybody ready? Let's get started. I think I'm going to start calling you guys since my logo is a peacock feather with a little a treble sign for the stem. I'm going to start calling you guys my peahens. My peacocks and peahens. I think we have a few peacocks out there, but mostly peahens. So you guys are my groupies. Anything new and exciting going on with anybody? Let's hear what whips you're doing. I think I'm going to like this yarn. This was from Bag a Day Crochet. Had some new colors and some new yarn that she did with Premier. And this is Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Gradient. I don't remember the name of this one, but she really likes the group Queen, and so she used all their colors to name the yarns. But no, of course I don't remember. Let's see if it says on here what the color's called. Oh, it's just orange tones. But so that's what I'm starting on, the orange, and then I think I'm going to have the strip of white, and then the blue ombre. So I just think that's so pretty because their colors are orange and blue. Now, see, it looks almost the same color as my shirt, but my shirt is red. Honest to goodness red. Cardinal red. Okay, so last week I took a little break. I needed a bit of a mental health time. So I'm sorry I missed you guys. Hope everybody is doing well. I had some issues going on with my daughter and her job and trying to figure some things out for her, but it's going better. It's going better. So that was last week, and I was just very stressed. You know, those of you that have kids or people you're in charge of, you know, when they get stressed, you kind of get stressed. And so I took last Wednesday off, but this Friday I'll be back with a new video. I kind of haven't had I think my last Friday video on Feather Song Friday was deconstructing the hexagon purse. I'm not going to tell you what this one is, but it's kind of to do with my market, but I am going to do another one with specific market details because I did a market a week and a half ago. Let's see, your mom broke her foot last Monday. Oh, gosh. Poor thing. That's painful. That is a painful thing to go through because you feel so laid up. You know, you can't put weight on it. If she can, she probably can't put much weight on it. I feel for her. You want to hear something weird? I fell yesterday. I fell in my garage. A friend was helping me. What were we doing? Oh, we were breaking down some boxes. I had a bunch of cardboard boxes in the garage. And she's real good at organizing and helping me whenever I ask her to help. And so we were breaking down these boxes, and we had a stack of them. And I stepped to flatten them out. I kind of stepped on it. I did it a couple times. And then like the third time I did it, I just slipped. You know, the cardboard got slippery. It wasn't an even pile. And so I slipped and kind of did the splits and landed, you know, down on all fours. So my knee that I had, my left knee where my knee replacement is, got a little bit red, and it's not really bruised today, thank goodness, because I fell on the cardboard, not on the cement, but it's a little sore. So, oh, you know what? I'm going to put it right up here on the couch. There we go. Oh, that feels a lot better. So my knee's a little sore and my shoulders are a little sore, but I'm just glad I didn't fall on the garage floor, that it was actually on cardboard, not on cement. Well, I'll tell your mom I'll be praying for her because I've had sprained ankles. Actually, I had a broken ankle. It was a hairline fracture, but it still hurt like the dickens. And it's not fun to go through. I hope we have more people join us soon so we can have a good chat. I hope everybody didn't forget about me. I put out the notification. Oh, there we go. And then my, let's see, she slipped and fell down the garage stairs. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do your garage stairs have a handle, I hope? Have a a railing. Mine do. I really lean on that and hope it never breaks because we have one, two, three steps down to our garage. And oh man, our garage was a mess. So I'm so glad she helped me just breaking down those boxes. And then we swept a little bit because there was dog food that had spilled everywhere and just junk. I probably hadn't cleaned the garage in over a year. And thank God for my friend. She helped me out. They do not have a rail. Oh gosh, that might be worth an investment to stick a rail on there if you know a handyman that could do that for you. As a therapist, when I did home health, I saw a lot of people that slipped on the garage stairs. Sometimes even if they had a rail or not. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't more than 3 or 4, but still, I mean, I'm sure it hurts, but I tell you, you know what my mom used to do? My mom had polio when she was 19, and she was paralyzed from the waist down, but she recovered. But she always had trouble, walking after that. She would go down the stairs backwards. So she'd hold onto the rail and like back herself down the stairs, which looking back on it now, that was really smart because she didn't want to go she would fall. She didn't want to go head first and tumble down the steps. And I have started doing that this past few months when I think about it. I go down backwards. I'm telling you, it is easier. So a little tip for your mom there, if she ever goes down any other steps, to hold the rail and go down backwards. Because if you fall, you just kind of would fall on your face, facing up the steps and not tumble end over end going down a whole flight. That would be very scary to me. That happened to an uncle of mine, and he did not survive that. So yeah, when you get older, you got to watch those steps. They're scary. Somebody else join us yet? Let's see here. So let's see how far into 20 minutes we are. 12 minutes left. Okay. Anybody got their favorite refreshment with them? I have my Diet Dew Baja Blast. I really love the Major Melon Diet Mountain Dew. I can't find it anywhere. I can find the regular Major Melon, but I try to be a good diabetic and not drink regular soda. I like diet soda, but yeah, if anybody knows where to find that Diet Mountain Dew Major Melon, please tell me. I tell everybody, if you ever see that in a store at Walmart or anywhere, pick me up a case of it. So that's my favorite soda. But yeah, I'm a Mountain Dew lover. I love the caffeine and the Mountain Dew. Your family's stubborn. Your grandpa fell 30 feet and broke his back a couple years ago. Oh, Lord. He's in his 80s, but he recovered. Oh, that's amazing. My uncle was in his 80s when that happened to him, and he was in the hospital a few days, but he just did not recover. He passed in the hospital, and oh, stairs are a scary thing. And I don't know if your mom lives alone, but that's even scarier. I used to tell my patients all the time, it's worth the investment to get that Lifeline button that you can wear if you live alone and you fall. Because my God, I mean, I have known several patients that have laid there for hours and sometimes days, and they have survived that. But can you imagine? I mean, you have to use the bathroom right where you're laying. You can't eat. You have nothing to eat. But Fran, hey, that's okay. Glad you joined us. We're talking about falling down the steps. Unfortunately, I had a little spill yesterday in my garage, but I landed on cardboard boxes. So flattened out cardboard boxes. So I didn't hurt myself that bad. But I do have that fear of falling down the steps. My mom and I live together. She texted, oh, good. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, my daughter was home yesterday, and my friend was with me. She went and got her to help me up from the floor. And as it turned out, I could get up by myself. I surprised myself. But she was so worried. She came in and looked at me like, what happened? Like, it's okay. slipped on some cardboard. And then after that, my friend and I were sweeping up the trash, and she almost fell. I'm like, oh my God, Diane, like I can't have you falling on me. It's bad enough I'm tripping over stuff. Oh gosh. So Fran, what you working on today? Oh, thank you. Me too. Very glad that I'm okay. Little knee pain, but it's not bad. I was telling Bean I am working on starting a blanket that's going to be part of a raffle for the band, the high school band where my daughter works. And they have a raffle. Their fundraisers in February. So I'm going to finish this by February. So I got plenty of time. And I'm going to do the bean stitch in honor of Bean. Anybody else blanketing today? Doing a blanket? Yeah, this is nice yarn. I love the Premier Anti-Pilling. I think that's my favorite go-to yarn. Has anybody seen that new sweater that Tiffany is modeled a couple days ago? I can't remember the name of it, but it's like brown and gray and black and white, and it's that really pretty yarn. I can't remember the name of it, but I thought, oh, that is really pretty. I might try to make that. But my cardigan, I'm finally almost done with my cardigan. It's in the car right now because I took it to a friend's house today to work on. But I've got one sleeve almost done. I've just got to do a little bit more here and the cuff. And then I got the whole other sleeve to do. But yeah, so next Wednesday I should be able to show you my cardigan. Okay, Bean's working on a shawl. Ooh, a Farrell sweater and a Tunisian cardigan panel. Those are your whips you've got right now that you're working on? Okay. And Fran's working on a wrap that's from an Expression Fiber Arts. Okay. A mystery for a year. Oh, that's interesting. So you're on clue number 9. So I've never heard of that. So do they give you like, there's a mystery stitch every week or something? How does that work? That'd be a lot for a year though. I'm very curious, Fran. I hate to bother you in the middle of your crocheting, but you've got to tell me how that works. That sounds like fun. I love mysteries. Got 6 minutes left, folks. The monthly one just dropped clue 10. Oh, Bean's doing it too. Each month we get a clue and new yarn. Oh my gosh. So if they send you a yarn every month and it's something that it's connected for the whole year, so it's like made of 12 different yarns, and you don't know what it is you're making, or you don't know what the stitch is going to be that you're making. It's probably you don't know what you're making, but I could be wrong. I've never done a crochet along like that where you don't know either what you're making or what stitch you're doing. That would be fun though. Clue and a new yarn. Huh. Let's see. Mystery for a year. Oh, it's a wrap. Okay, you told me already it's a wrap. But so what is the mystery about it? We don't know what stitch. Okay, and what color. Okay, so you don't know what color is coming next in the mail. Okay, and you don't know what stitch she's going to have you do next. Has it ever been like a new stitch that you didn't know how to do? I'm not doing it. You just get the emails. Oh, okay. Oh, so you get it at the beginning of the month. So you're probably, if it's for the year, is it the calendar year? You're almost done with it then. I used to love getting those when I did the Annie's Kit Club, and I made that block uh, blanket. I learned some new stitches, but I think I told you guys last week they never called them a name. I don't know what they're called. I can't say I learned the whatever stitch because I don't know what it was. Oh gosh. Okay. So I might have to go on that website and see what most of them are new stitches for you. Okay. Well, that's a challenge. Good for you. Let's see if I can remember how to do the bean stitch. It's been a while. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try that. Come on, don't do me like that. And then I think there's a single crochet in between the bean stitch. Maybe I should do 7. That makes it a little more bulkier. Yeah, that's better. That looks more like a bean. There we go. And then, yeah, I like doing blankets. Well, any project, I guess, that has some texture to it, that has some squishiness to it. I came across one, was it yesterday, where it's all half double, but you do half double, and then the next row you do half double, but a slip stitch. And it had like a ridge on one side. There was like every other row was ridges, and that was really pretty. I got a clue number 10 this morning, but I have 3 more rows for number 9. Okay, so you just got your October one, it sounds like, number 10. So do you use the whole skein of yarn? Oh, I got this tangled, darn it. You know, the thing said pull from here, but it came out in a big yarn bar chunk, like that big. Um, do you use the whole skein of yarn per month, or do you have some left over? I know with that Andy's Kit Club, um, I had some left over every month, so it's kind of nice to have that extra yarn to use for other things you wanted to use it for. Okay, oh, that bead stitch is looking cute. Okay. I always hate getting behind on make-alongs. Oh, usually just do month-long ones. Yeah, a year-long one. That's quite, although I think my blanket that I did with Annie's Kids Clubs was probably a year long. But I got a nice big blanket out of it. I can't imagine making a wrap for a whole year. That must be a very large wrap. Yes, you learn. Okay. Well, that's nice, especially if it's yarn that you like and you have leftover. You can make scrap projects, or if there's enough, you could make all kinds of things. This yarn seems thinner than a 4-weight to me. Ah, okay. Okay, folks, time for our 5-minute break. I'm just going to take a quick stretch. Oh, I've got company coming this weekend. They came back in June. My friend Sue and her daughter Jessie. Sue is about my age, and her daughter is about my daughter's age. So we've known each other for, since before the kids were born. So it'll be nice that they're. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be, I hope it's going to be real pretty. This starts out this peach color. It's ombre. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what we can do this weekend. I think we're gonna, I think they're showing Little Shop of Horrors at our downtown theater center here. So we might go see that. I should ask her first if they want to, but it's a musical. I think they would like it. I haven't seen it on stage. I've only seen the movie Little Shop of Horrors, and I like the movie. So I thought it might be fun to see that on stage. And let's see, Sue can't do a whole lot of walking. Well, neither can I with this kind of a bum knee. But they did have, well, they are going to have the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular this weekend in our town, where you walk through one of our parks. It's one of the bigger parks, and you walk through and see all the lighted jack-o'-lanterns. They got Halloween music playing. They have some food tents. So it's really fun, but it's a lot of walking, and it's in the dark. So that might be a little iffy. What else could we do? If you guys have any ideas, let me know. I mean, they've been here to visit us a lot, so it's not like there's anything new to see, any kind of new museum or anything to see. They've seen it. They've seen everything in this town, but that might be fun to go to play. That'd be kind of Halloween-y and something different. I don't think we've ever been to a play together before. That's kind of something. I'm gonna have to think about that. What are other people's plans for the weekend? Oh, that looks pretty. I'm happy so far. 2 more minutes and then we'll get our next 20-minute segment in. Yeah, this yarn said to use a 5.5 hook, but I'm using a 5. And I mean, look, you probably can't tell from there, but that is kind of thin yarn for a 4. I don't know. Because here's the other Premier Everyday Worsted. Oh, that's definitely thicker than that. I don't know if you can see that together, but this yellow is thicker than this orange. But anyway, we will just carry along here. Okay, let's see. Let me get this ready. Oh, we got 1 more minute. How's things in Ohio, Fran? Has it gotten any cooler up there? It's still kind of warm down here in central Illinois. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys watch April, the Cozy Buckeye. She has a crochet channel, and she had a market this past weekend. So all my family's in that Cincinnati area. So I told her, I said, I'll put it on my Facebook to come visit you. You had your first freeze. Wow. See, it's gone down in the like mid 40s here at night a couple times, but now it's like, it's up in the 70s during the day, which is fine, but it's still too hot for me for October. Okay. I like starting our second 20 minutes. I like Octobers that are cool, like in the 60s during the day. Oh yeah, that's the best for me. And if I told you guys my birthday was Monday, and so it was kind of warm. I'm not used to it being warm on my birthday. And a friend took me and Tab out to Portillo's. I don't know if you guys have Portillo's where you are, but it's like a 50s diner. It's like they have really good Chicago hot dogs. And 35 tonight. Well, good for you. So we went to Portillo's, and I was going to have a bite of my daughter's hot dog, and she ate the whole damn thing for the chance to have a bite of it. Excuse me. So I had a chopped salad. I love their salad there. It's really good. Um, so that was Monday. That was my birthday. And then I just kind of relaxed the rest of the day and hung out. And I was got a tiny bit depressed because now I'm officially in my mid 60s. So I turned 64 on Monday. But then I think, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about it. It's just the reality. Oh, thank you, Bean. It was nice. I always have a nice day. It's not the only time I ever got upset on a birthday was probably when I turned 50. That was a tough one for me when I turned 50. I don't know why, but I guess it's just that milestone birthday that can get to you. Oh, darn it. All right, I'm going to have to work out a knot here. I was winding up some yarn the other day. I thought it was one big thing. It was like a lilac color of this worsted weight. And I got there and I was doing pretty good. I was untangling and winding up, and it was one. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it's in two different balls. Well, I started again, and it was in another one. So I ended up with three little balls of lilac, which is fine, but it just was funny. I must have snipped it in frustration, and oh gosh. My dad's turning 60 in a week. Okay. Well, I hope it's not hard on him. I hope he survives being 60. 60's not too bad. I mean, the good thing is retirement is, I probably heard my doggy out there. Retirement's a good thing. You have time to do crochet and other things that probably wouldn't do if I worked during the day. So I try to make the most of it as inexpensively as I can. Now, Fran, you are retired, correct? Are you enjoying retirement? I don't know how many years you have. I've only been retired a couple years. There she is. There's my little baby. You don't need to stand there and whine. You know that. Come on, Luna. Come on, Luna. Come on. Nope. Oh, you retired in 2019. And oh, good deal. Yeah, it's fun. I wish I had money to travel and stuff, but that's okay. I do enjoy not having to do something every day. Having to get up and go and do something every single day. So that's nice. And so far, knock on wood, I've got a decent car and I don't have a lot of expenses. My house is paid off and car's paid off. Like I said, I know that will change eventually. If I have to get a new car sometime down the road, probably. I have my brother's car. He passed away in 2014 and had a couple payments left. So I took over the last couple payments, paid my nieces for it. None of them wanted it. So it's a 2011 Honda Accord. I mean, it's a good car. It's been through a lot. It's never been wrecked. Hondas are great cars. So I'm hoping it'll last me for a while. I mean, I even used it for home health for a little bit there, and it's gotten me through that. All right, come on, little tangle. Oh. What kind of work did you do, Fran? We've got 14 minutes, folks. Might take me that long to get this untangled. I mean, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but or healthcare or finance or retail. Oh, hey, Sid. HR customer service. Oh, boy. I do not envy you. That would be a job that I would not want. HR wouldn't be bad, but customer service is that's kind of rough on you. That can be mentally tiring, if you, especially the way people are now, wanting, you know, wanting so much. What are you doing, Sid? What are you up to? You still on? You still on? Ah, the heck. I guess it could depend on the industry if you're in HR and customer service, if it's a good place to be or not. And you probably worked there a lot of years and got to know people. That's what makes a job good to me, is getting along with your family of coworkers. You're eating your dinner early? Oh my gosh. Sid, what is it, 3:30 your time? Oh my goodness, you're funny. Ah, yeah. This is going to frustrate me to no end. I spent getting that lilac uh, yarn untangled. It took me close to an hour. It might have been over an hour. I don't like untangling yarn. Leftover stuffed shells was calling my name. Oh, were they homemade? I haven't made stuffed shells in a long time. Oh, I'm doing okay. I was telling people I had a little tumble yesterday in my garage. I A friend of mine was helping me break down some boxes, and I slipped on the cardboard, trying to flatten them out, and kind of did the splits and hurt my knee a little bit, but it's not bad. Oh, okay. Make for the hubby. Is your husband Italian, or he just likes stuffed shells? I leftover lasagna for tonight. Oh, everybody's eating Italian tonight. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump on that bandwagon. Maybe we'll order from Olive Garden. I don't do, since my husband passed a few years ago, I don't do a lot of cooking. I need to. I need to cook more. I mean, I cooked almost every night when he was here, and sometimes I miss it. Other times it's like, oh, this is exhausting. I don't want to be cooking every night, but you save a lot of money doing that. Ah, let's see if this is working. Ah. Now, Bean, is your leftover lasagna homemade? Okay, folks, I dropped my hook. Hold on. There we go. Oh no, because yes, his grandmother was 100% Sicilian. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, no wonder. Yeah, I'm okay. I tell you, it's one of those things that happens. You try to be so careful, but that's why they call them accidents, because they do happen. What are you working on today, Sid? Oops. It's homemade with, oh boy, the good cheese. Okay. All cheese is good to me, except the my friend used to call me a cheese snob because I don't like those Kraft singles. To me, that's not real cheese. Oh, you're talking about like the mozzarella on top, or you're talking about the ricotta? Whoops. Oh, the ricotta. Yeah, I'm not a huge ricotta fan. That's like my least favorite cheese. Well, and blue cheese. Ugh. But every other cheese pretty much I like. But yeah, I'll eat ricotta if it's inside a lasagna, of course. But to eat it plain, like, because it's kind of like a cottage cheese, right? If I don't know anybody, can you eat that? I guess you can eat it plain. I've just never had it without being mixed in anything. Working on a finished process of some hand spun yarn hanks. Okay. The process meaning you were spinning. There we go. 8 minutes left, folks. Did Fran leave us? Oh, no, there she is. Okay. My husband thinks he's Italian because every Friday we have to have an Italian meal, but he cooks on Friday, so that works for me. Lucky you. I saw somewhere, it was in Good Housekeeping, or it's, they had the one where it has maybe it was Woman's Day, that has all the holidays for the month. And there's a day in November that's called the man or the husband cooks dinner day. Oh, that's funny. They have so many specialty days now. It's kind of ridiculous, but that one kind of tickled my funny bone a little bit. I don't remember what day in November it was now. Got a few hanks I still need to snap. Snap? Or do you mean wrap? I don't know what snapping hanks means. Apply and soak, but one I needed to finish spinning and soak. Now I have to get yardage. I don't know the lingo for spinning. I'm sorry. Maybe you're talking about putting the hanks together, like winding them? Is that what you mean? Almost stretching time, everybody. Get our muscles ready to be stretched. Snap and thwack. Okay. So you're talking about when you wind it, or you're talking about like if you're dyeing it, like to get the water out, you snap it? I don't know what you're talking about. I guess I'll have to read up on it so I'm prepared for next conversation. How is Shannon? Is she back to work? I saw a couple of her videos, but I didn't know how much time she needed to take off work after her surgery. I thought maybe she could join us if she's home. Oh, and I'm hoping to join you guys on your live chat this Saturday. I've missed it, but although I have company coming this weekend, but maybe I can catch you for a little bit at the time. Let's see. I'll show you Saturday. Okay. I'm hoping to be there for a little bit of it. Our company comes in on the train Friday afternoon, but I'll try to catch a little bit of it in the morning. Yeah, I can't see myself ever dyeing yarn, but I think it's fascinating. I've seen people do it, and it looks so fun. But I just don't need any more mess in my house than I already got. Oh. See how this is looking. Oh, I love that little bean stitch, that little bit of squishiness on the bean. If you don't see me there, make sure you tell Shannon I said hi. I was thinking of her all that time, hoping that she was doing good. So I'm glad it went well for her. Oh, she went back to work. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, she has a desk job, I think, right? My job, I was out at least 6 weeks after my hysterectomy. But I have a more manual labor job. I did have. Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see how far we are from stretching time. 3 minutes. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I think she's shown that before on her channel. And isn't it her husband's place of business? Or am I thinking of somebody else, maybe? Oh, hey, I wanted to mention that I don't know if you guys know Holly. I've mentioned Holly before from Stitch is Gonna Stitch. She and I are going to be doing a live together around Christmas. So be watching for that. It should be fun. I told her, I said, I've got some questions for you. And she's a small channel, so but we've known each other just through YouTube for the past year, several months. But I said, I've got 5 funny questions for you. So you pick out 5 or so questions for me, and we'll just chat and we'll have a good time and meet people. And so that'll be, I think, early December sometime. They have their own business. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, finally my tangle's out. Yay. One more. I'm always so productive when I'm here talking with you guys. Thank you for being with me for creation time. Get some of these whips done. I finished the blanket for my friend. That's coming this Friday for her birthday next month. I finished that. So that turned out nice. And my cardigan, I got one sleeve left to do. So I'll show you guys next Wednesday how that turned out. Get this in there. I saw Shannon's video on how she redid her craft room. It looks great. She got so many cute things, so many little rustic treasures and knickknacks. I do want to do that to this room here too. Thank you as well. It's nice to have company. Yeah, I agree. It's very nice to have a little company when you're working. I wish you guys could actually talk and chat, and I could, like a Zoom meeting, I could see you up there. Maybe one day, if I ever get more technically savvy. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. Oh, these are looking really cute, these bead stitches. Yeah, I debated for several weeks on what kind of stitch to use for this blanket that I'm donating to the school. And then I thought, I wanted some with texture. Oh, there we go. And the bean stitch is fun, and it's fairly easy to do. Okay. Put everything down, everybody. Time to stretch. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. This is the peach section. It looks lighter than it is in real life. It's the peach. Okay. You know what? I haven't thought about what we're going to do. So sometimes, like I did on my job, sometimes we'll just wing it. Here I am in my new chair. I love this chair. I don't want to get out of it. Okay, we'll start. Let's start at the fingertips today, work our way up. Okay, let's just do let's do some ab and adduction, stretching them out and together. So yeah, this is a real good one. Stretch. Oh, I can feel that. My thumbs, if I crochet too long, my thumbs get, that little arthritis kind of kicks in. Stretch. Couple more. Okay, very good. And now fist and open. Fist and open. There we go. Hush. We're exercising, Luna. Hush. Okay, and now wrist. Let's do some wrist rolls. It's okay if your wrists crack. That's quite all right. I got the same issue. There we go. And the other way. Okay. And now at the wrist, we're going to do some, put your palms together and get your elbows out. That stretches your wrist extensors right here. So you can stretch them out. Hold it. And then go the opposite way and stretch your flexors. I can feel that on top. I can feel it here and on top of my hands. And then the opposite way. Stretch that way. There we go. And again, this way. One more time up. And one more time down. Stretch. Good. Okay, let's move on to the forearm. We're going to just rotate, rest your elbows, and just rotate your forearm. We're going to pronate, and we're going to supinate. Stretch. And this way, stretch. Now you can't go like this. That's cheating. So just stretch this way. Good. And stretch that way. Again, this way. Hold it. And that way. Hold it. One more. This is a good one. And if you want to give extra, a little extra push, you can always use the other hand. And push it out. Like so. Okay. All right, let's do some shoulder. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls. Get the shoulder ready to stretch. Couple rolls this way. Time to go in here. Good. Couple rolls that way. Okay, now you're going to put your hands behind your head. Stick those elbows back as far as you can. That's stretching your external rotators, which are right up here, all those muscles. There's 4 muscles that make you do this. You got to keep those limber because your shoulder rotation muscles do a lot of work for you. And then the opposite way is reaching behind your back and trying to, how do I explain it? Let's see. Trying to bring your shoulders in a little bit. Put your hands up your back as far as you can. Okay, good. And behind your head and stretch. That's it. Feel it right in your shoulder, on the top of your shoulder, and kind of down to the elbow. That's where I feel it. And then back. Get your hands up your back as far as you can. That's good internal rotation. There you go. Okay, let's do one more. How about a neck stretch? I feel like a good neck stretch. So ear to shoulder. And if you want to, you can push just a little bit, not hard. And ear to shoulder, other way. Gentle push, or you could just let the weight of your head. Just pull it over. Really feel that stretch in your neck. That's nice. One more time this way. And one more time this way. Don't go too fast, you get dizzy. There we go. Okay. All right. Time for reading. Reading time. And we're going to read 2 chapters today. So you guys just pick up your work again. Thanks for stretching with me. And I'm going to read, and you're going to listen and work on your whip. Okay, let's see what the Dashwoods are up to this week. All right, we are on chapter. So I started the timer, yes. 11. So we're going to read 11 and 12. Everybody ready? Little had Mrs. Dashwood or her daughters imagined when they first came into Devonshire that so many engagements would arise to occupy their time as shortly presented themselves, or that they should have such frequent invitations and such constant visitors as to leave them little leisure for serious employment. Yet such was the case. When Marianne was recovered, the schemes of amusement at home and abroad, which Sir John had been previously forming, were put in execution. The private balls at the park then began, and parties on the water were made and accomplished as often as a showery October would allow. In every meeting of the kind, Willoughby was included, and the ease and familiarity which naturally attended these parties were exactly calculated to give increasing intimacy to his acquaintance with the Dashwoods, to afford him opportunity of witnessing the excellencies of Marianne, of marking his animated admiration of her, and of receiving, in her behavior to himself, the most pointed assurance of her affection. Elinor could not be surprised at their attachment. She only wished that it were less openly shown, and once or twice did venture to suggest the propriety of some self-command to Marianne. But Marianne abhorred all concealment where no real disgrace could attend unreserve, and to aim at the restraint of sentiments which were not in themselves illaudable appeared to her not merely an unnecessary effort, but a disgraceful subjection of reason to commonplace and mistaken notions. Willoughby thought the same, and their behavior at all times was an illustration of their opinions. When he was present, she had no eyes for anyone else. Everything he did was right. Everything he said was clever. If their evenings at the park were concluded with cards, he cheated himself and all the rest of the party to get her a good hand. If dancing formed the amusement of the night, they were partners for half the time, and when obliged to separate for a couple of dances, were careful to stand together and scarcely spoke a word to anybody else. Such conduct made them, of course, most exceedingly laughed at, but ridicule could not shame and seemed hardly to provoke them. Mrs. Dashwood entered into all their feelings with a warmth which left her no inclination for checking this excessive display of them. To her it was but the natural consequence of a strong affection in a young and ardent mind. This was the season of happiness to Marianne. Her heart was devoted to Willoughby, and the fond attachment to Norland, which she brought with her from Sussex, was more likely to be softened than she had thought it possible before, by the charms which his society bestowed on her present home. Elinor's happiness was not so great. Her heart was not so much at ease, nor her satisfaction in their amusements so pure. They afforded her no companion that could make amends for what she had left behind, nor that could teach her to think of Norland with less regret than ever. Neither Lady Middleton nor Mrs. Jennings could supply to her the conversation she missed, although the latter was an everlasting talker, and from the first had regarding her with a kindness which ensured her a large share of her discourse. She had already repeated her own history to Elinor 3 or 4 times, and had Elinor's memory been equal to her means of improvement, she might have known very early in the acquaintance all the particulars of Mr. Jennings' last illness, and what he said to his wife a few minutes before he died. Lady Middleton was more agreeable than her mother, only in being more silent. Elinor needed little observation to perceive that her reserve was a mere calmness of manner with which sense had nothing to do. Towards her husband and mother she was the same as to them, and intimacy was therefore neither to be looked for nor desired. She had nothing to say one day, and that she had not said the day before. Her insipidity was invariable, for even her spirits were always the same, and though she did not oppose the parties arranged by her husband, provided everything were conducted in style, and her 2 eldest children attended her, she never appeared to receive more enjoyment from them than she might have experienced in sitting at home. And so little did her presence add to the pleasure of the others by any share in their conversation, that they were sometimes only reminded of her being amongst them by her solicitude about her troublesome boys. In Colonel Brandon alone, of all her new acquaintance, did Elinor find a person who could any degree claim the respect of abilities, excite the interest of friendship, or give pleasure as a companion. Willoughby was out of the question. Her admiration and regard, even her sisterly regard, was all his own. But he was a lover. His attentions were wholly Marianne's, and a far less agreeable man might have been more generally pleasing. Colonel Brandon, unfortunately for himself, had no such encouragement to think only of Marianne, and in conversing with Eleanor, he found the greatest consolation for the total indifference of her sister. Eleanor's compassion for him increased, and she had reason to suspect that the misery of disappointed love had already been known by him. This suspicion was given by some words which accidentally dropped from him one evening at the park when they were sitting down together by mutual consent, while the others were dancing. His eyes were fixed on Marianne, and after a silence of some minutes, he said with a faint smile, "Your sister, I understand, does not approve of second attachments." "No," replied Eleanor, "all her opinions are all romantic." "Or rather, as I believe, she considers them impossible to exist." "Oh, I believe she does," said Eleanor, "but how she contrives it without reflecting on the character of her own father, who had himself 2 wives, I know not. A few years, however, will settle her opinions on the reasonable basis of common sense and observation, and then they may be more easy to define and to justify than they are now by anybody but herself." "This will probably be the case," he replied, "yet there is something so amiable in the prejudices of a young mind that one is sorry to see them give way to the reception of more general opinions." "I cannot agree with you there," said Eleanor. "There are inconveniences attending such feelings as Marianne's, which all the charms of enthusiasm and ignorance of the world cannot atone for. Her systems have all the unfortunate tendency of setting propriety at naught, and a better acquaintance with the world is what I look forward to as her greatest possible advantage." After a short pause, he resumed the conversation by saying, "Does your sister make no distinction in her objections against the second attachment? Or is it equally criminal in everybody? Are those who have been disappointed in their first choice, whether from the inconsistency of its object or their perverseness of circumstances, to be equally indifferent during the rest of their lives?" "Upon my word, I'm not acquainted with the minutiae of her principles. I only know that I never heard her admit any instance of a second attachment's being pardonable." "This," said he, "cannot hold, but a total change of sentiments. No, no, do not desire it, for when the romantic refinements of a young mind are obliged to give way, how frequently are they succeeded by such opinions as are but too common and too dangerous. I speak from experience. I once knew a lady who, in temper and mind, greatly resembled your sister, who thought and judged like her, but who, from an enforced change, from a series of unfortunate circumstances—" Here he stopped suddenly, appeared to think they had said too much, and by his countenance gave rise to conjectures which might not otherwise have entered Eleanor's head. The lady would probably have passed without suspicion had he not convinced Miss Dashwood that what concerned her ought not to escape his lips. As it was, it required but a slight effort of fancy to connect his emotion with the tender recollection of past regard. Eleanor attempted no more, but Marianne, in her place, would not have done so little. The whole story would have been speedily formed under her active imagination, and everything established in the most melancholy order of disastrous love. Okay, chapter 12. We have 11 minutes. As Eleanor and Marianne were walking together the next morning, the latter communicated a piece of news to her sister, which, in spite of all that she knew before of Marianne's imprudence and want of thought, surprised her by its extravagant testimony of both. Marianne told her with the greatest delight that Willoughby had given her a horse, one that he had bred himself on his estate in Somersetshire, and which was exactly calculated to carry a woman. Without considering that it was not in her mother's plan to keep any horse, that if she were to alter her resolution in favor of this gift, she must buy another for the servant and keep a servant to ride it, and after all, build a stable to receive them, she had accepted the present without hesitation and told her sister of it in raptures. "He intends to send his groom into Somersetshire immediately for it," she added, "and when it arrives, we will ride every day. You shall share its use with me. Imagine to yourself, my dear Eleanor, the delight of a gallop on some of these downs." Most unwilling was she to awaken from such a dream of felicity, to comprehend all the unhappy truths which attended the affair, and for some time she refused to submit to them. As to an additional servant, the expense would be a trifle. Mamma, she was sure, would never object to it, and any horse would do for him. He might always get one at the park. As to a stable, the merest shed would be sufficient. Eleanor then ventured to doubt the propriety of her receiving such a present from a man so little, or at least so lately known to her. This was too much. "You are mistaken, Eleanor," she said warmly, "and supposing I know very little of Willoughby. I have not known him long indeed, but I am much better acquainted with him than with any other creature in the world except yourself and mamma. It is not time or opportunity that is to determine intimacy. It is disposition alone. 7 years would be insufficient to make some people acquainted with each other, and 7 days are more than enough for others. I should hold myself guilty of greater impropriety in accepting a horse from my brother than from Willoughby. Of John I know very little, though we have lived together for years, but of Willoughby my judgment has long been formed." Eleanor thought it wisest to touch that point no more. She knew her sister's temper. Opposition on so tender a subject would only attach her the more to her own opinion. But by an appeal to her affection for her mother, by representing the inconveniences which that indulgent mother must draw on herself, as if, as probably would be the case, she consented to this increase of establishment, Marianne was shortly subdued, and she promised not to tempt her mother with such imprudent kindness by mentioning the offer, and to tell Willoughby when she saw him next that it must be declined. She was faithful to her word, and when Willoughby called at the cottage the same day, Eleanor heard her express her disappointment to him in a low voice on being obliged to forego the acceptance of his present. The reasons for this alteration were at the same time related, and they were such as to make further entreaty on his side impossible. His concern, however, was very apparent, and after expressing it with earnestness, he added in the same low voice, "But, Marianne, the horse is still yours. Though you cannot use it now, I shall keep it only till you can claim it. When you leave Barton to form your own establishment in a more lasting home, Queen Mab shall receive you." This was all overheard by Miss Dashwood, and in the whole of the sentence, in his manner of pronouncing it, and in his addressing her sister by her Christian name alone, she instantly saw an intimacy so decided, a meaning so direct, as marked a perfect agreement between them. From that moment she doubted not of their being engaged to each other, and the belief of it created no other surprise than that she or any of their friends should be left by tempers so frank to discover it by accident. Margaret related something to her the next day, which placed this matter in a still clearer light. Willoughby had spent the preceding evening with them, and Margaret, by being left some time in the parlor with only him and Marianne, had opportunity for observations, which, with a most important face, she communicated to her eldest sister when they were next by themselves. "Oh, Eleanor," she cried, "I have such a secret to tell you about Marianne. I'm sure she will be married to Mr. Willoughby very soon." "You have said so," replied Eleanor, "almost every day since they first met on Highchurch Down, and they had not known each other a week, I believe, before you were certain that Marianne wore his picture round her neck, but it turned out to be only the miniature of our great uncle. But indeed this is quite another thing. I'm sure they will be married very soon, for he has got a lock of her hair." "Take care, Margaret. It may only be the hair of some great uncle of his." "But indeed, Eleanor, it's Marianne's. I'm almost sure it is, for I saw him cut it off. Last night after tea, when you and Mamma went out of the room, they were there whispering and talking together as fast as could be, and he seemed to be begging something of her, and presently he took up her scissors and cut off a long lock of her hair, for it was all tumbled down her back, and he kissed it and folded it up in a piece of white paper and put it in his pocketbook." From such particulars, stated on such authority, Eleanor could not withhold her credit, nor was she disposed to it, for the circumstance was in perfect unison with what she had heard and seen herself. Margaret's sagacity was not always displayed in a way so satisfactory to her sister. When Mrs. Jennings attacked her one evening at the park, to give the name of the young man who was Eleanor's particular favorite, which had long been a matter of great curiosity to her, Margaret answered by looking at her sister and saying, I must not tell, may I, Eleanor?" This, of course, made everybody laugh, and Eleanor tried to laugh too, but the effort was painful. She was convinced that Margaret had fixed on a person whose name she could not bear with composure to become a standing joke with Mrs. Jennings. Marianne felt for her most sincerely, but she did more harm than good to the cause by turning very red and saying in an angry manner to Margaret, Remember that whatever your conjunctures may be, you have no right to repeat them. I never had any conjunctures about it, said Margaret. It was you who told me of it yourself. This increased the mirth of the company, and Margaret was eagerly pressed to say something more. Oh, pray, Miss Margaret, let us know all about it, said Mrs. Jennings. What is the gentleman's name? I must not tell, ma'am. I know very well what it is, and I know where he is, too. Yes, yes, we can guess where he is. At his own house in Norland, to be sure. He is the curate of the parish, I dare say. No, that he is not. He is of no profession at all. Margaret, said Marianne with great warmth, you know that all this is an invention of your own, and that there's no such person in existence. Well, then, he is lately dead, Marianne, for I am sure there was such a man once, and his name begins with an F. Most grateful did Eleanor feel to Lady Middleton for observing at this moment that it rained very hard, though she believed the interruption to proceed less from any attention to her than from her ladyship's great dislike of all things, all such inelegant subjects as raillery, as delighted her husband and mother. The idea, however, started by her, was immediately pursued by Colonel Brandon, who was on every occasion mindful of the feelings of others, and much was said on the subject of rain by both of them. Willoughby opened the pianoforte and asked Marianne to sit down to it, and thus amidst the various endeavors of different people to quit the topic, it fell to the ground. But not so easily did Eleanor recover from the alarm into which it had thrown her. A party was formed this evening for going on the following day to see a very fine place about 12 miles from Barton, belonging to the brother-in-law of Colonel Brandon, without whose interest it could not be seen, as the proprietor, who was then abroad, had left strict orders on that head. The grounds were declared to be highly and beautiful, and Sir John, who was particularly warm in their praise, might be allowed to be a tolerable judge, for he had formed parties to visit them, at least twice every summer for the last 10 years. They contained a noble piece of water, a sail on which was to form a great part of the morning's amusement. Cold provisions were to be taken, open carriages only to be employed, and everything conducted in the usual style of a complete party of pleasure. To some few of the company appeared a rather bold undertaking, considering the time of year and that it had rained every day for the last fortnight, and Mrs. Dashwood, who had already had a cold, was persuaded by Eleanor to stay home. Okay. So it looks like a party on the water is going to ensue. We have about a minute left, a little over a minute. So I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. And we'll pick up with chapter 13 next Wednesday. Now, I know the ending of the story, but I'm not going to give it away if Willoughby and Marianne get married or who couples up with who. If you don't know the story, then you can look forward to to hearing about that. So let's see. It looks like we have, let's see, Sid and Fran, or Fran and Bean, or Sid and Bean. I'm not sure who we have left, but thank you for joining today. You have about a minute to finish up your project. Oh, Fran, you enjoyed the reading. Oh, good. Good. I enjoy reading that book. It's kind of fun to talk in Old English, I guess it's called. And trying to figure out the meaning, that there's so many run-on sentences in this book. Sometimes it's hard to figure out the inflection of where you put different words. But I enjoy reading too. We just picked another book for book club this past weekend. I picked a haunted house book that we discussed last, maybe 2 Saturdays ago. It was, what's his name? Riley. Oh my gosh, I've read a couple of his books. Not Riley Scott. Anyway, Sager, Riley Sager. He wrote, he's written all 9 or 10 books, mysteries. And this one was called Home Before Dark, about a haunted house. And that was pretty good. But I've read his other book, I think I liked a little better, called The Only One Left. And they're both pretty gothic, they take place in a big old giant mansion. And so if you like mysteries, it's good reading. So, okay, good timing. Thank you guys for joining me. Try to get, if you can, I'm not sure what happened to the other people that usually join us. They've kind of dropped off a little bit, but we will give them some more chances to join us. I just want everybody to be involved who can be. I know this is a hard time of day to to get everyone in. I do have some people that listen afterwards to the recording, but I think it's more fun when we have more people to talk to and more conversation going. So thank you again for joining me. Next Wednesday, we will pick up, and I will show you my card again next Wednesday. I'm hoping to have it done by then. And I will see you guys then. And stay tuned Friday for Feather Song Friday. I'll have an episode this Friday. Bye, everybody. You're welcome, Fran.